Now you may have noticed that I've been absent from my Derby North lockdown boot camp, but the problem is I've had a really bad injury. So today I'm here with Eddie from Movement Personal Training. You're going to take me through some exercises that I can do. Eddie, tell me a bit about yourself and what you're going to do with me.
So my name is Eddie Ingram. I'm a personal trainer and exercise therapist, and I work here at Movement Personal Training. So today we're just going to run through kind of an assessment of how you're moving, and then also some exercises that can help to correct whatever's causing the issue. So what we want to aim to do is find the root cause rather than just the superficial symptoms.
Brilliant, sounds good.
Great. So if you want to tell me a bit about your symptoms.
Oh, well, there's lots. I suspect some of it's old age. Some of it is I haven't taken any notice of the instructions, like rest, that kind of thing. Is it rise or rice they say you should do? But basically about nearly a year ago now, walking along, slipped, pulled something right here in my just here. I think what's it called that way?
The hamstring.
Hamstring, in the hamstring. And I've just not been right since, and I've tried to work through it, but I'm just not getting any better. So, make me better. I want to do the marathon. Oh, come on. Not to have been able to do the marathon, but you'd be a genius if you did.
So, when we think of the body, we kind of want to think of it in terms of chains of motion, so they're called kinetic chains. So a lot of time, if we injure something here, that can then influence things down the back of the body.
That's why I've had ankle pain.
Yeah.
Oh, that explains it then.
Yeah. So the body is obviously everything's connected. So if you injure one link in the chain, then the rest of the chain can be into dysfunction. So what we want to do before we move on to things like running, which is quite stressful on the body, we want to build the body up first through some kind of basically just gentle strengthening exercises. So it's like if I'm making a meal, you want to spend a bit more time preparing the meal than you do eating the meal. So we want to think of running as eating the meal, and at the moment which is doing the preparation period.
Okay, that sounds really good. So be gentle with me, Eddie.
It makes it sound better if it's like making a meal.
Okay, over to you then. What are you going to do with me?
Okay, great. So first we're just going to do a little test of core strength here. So the core, we want to think of this as a kind of a belt that goes around here. So a lot of people with the core, they just think of the abdominals. Yeah. We want to think of this as an entire belt that wraps around here. Okay. So what we want to do is, the problem with working someone who's injured is if we go into vigorous things like sit-ups or twisting, that can put a lot more strain on the injury. So what we want to do is work with static positions. So what we're going to do is work with a plank here. Okay. So this is primarily a core strengthening exercise. I'm just going to put my mask on because my face is going to be quite close to the...
do I put my mask on?
No, that's fine. Okay, so what we do is I'm going to just rest my knees on here. I go on my forearms here. Yeah. And what the belly is going to want to do is sag down here. Okay. So that's like a lazy belly. So what we want to do is I want to tuck my pelvis in. Okay. So.
Oh my goodness. 10 seconds are we looking for?
We'll just see how it goes. We'll go aim for around 10 seconds, something like that.
Oh, Gordon Bennett. Right. So down here.
Down here.
Like this.
Yep. So if you just let the belly relax.
Yeah.
So just so people can see what we don't want. So let the belly go towards the floor. Yeah. Okay, so that's what we don't want. So what we want to do is rotate the pelvis in, okay? Almost like you're trying to tuck your shirt in.
Like that?
That's the one.
Yep.
Okay, and hold. So you should feel the core engage here.
Yeah, but I can't look at you and do this at the same time.
That's right, you just concentrate. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is just create stiffness through the entire core. And this is going to work the entire midsection, okay?
Right. I think I've done at least 30 seconds already, haven't I?
5, 4,
I can do longer if you want.
You've got a strong core.
Well, and tennis player, that kind of thing, which is why this is so frustrating for me.
Yeah. Okay. So generally what we want to do is stay in this position.
Am I stopping?
Yeah, we can stop now.
It's up to you, you tell me.
I'm just surprised by your core strength.
Matt, did you hear that? That's obviously a good thing. Okay. What am I going to do? Just sort of rise and
take relax, take a break. Okay. Right, yeah, so the main thing here is, so there's a concept called Anterior or Posterior pelvic tilt. Yeah. So especially nowadays, a lot of people are getting, their pelvis is getting tucked under because they're sat on a computer. Yeah. Like that. So what we want to do basically here is just increase control of the pelvis. So if we want the pelvis to be here, go here. I want it to go here. Okay, so what we're doing during this motion, when we let the belly go soft, we're rotating the pelvis this way, and then when we're tucking the pelvis in, we're going this way. So we're just increasing the control. So obviously, when you're standing up, you want the pelvis to be about neutral, so you can kind of feel between these two positions. Find the middle, and that's where you should be, the proper posture.
So where am I doing that? Standing up or?
You can do some of the cueing first in terms of the pelvis. So you can always copy it. So
I'm not sure. Right. Okay. So I'm not sure I'm doing it properly, but so just going like this.
So stand at the side.
Yeah.
So face me. Yeah. So if I want to tuck my pelvis back.
Right. Is that back?
Yep. So that should force my belly out, my bum backwards, and then you can tuck in, so that brings the belly in.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can do a cycle between these two.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay. And then we want to find the middle position between the two.
Okay.
That's
Now that's alien to me. I think that's one of the problems, isn't it? I don't really have correct posture.
Yeah, that will be linked. Especially if you have a hamstring injury, then that can kind of pull the body into the anterior pelvic shift.
Yeah. And my understanding is when you've got an injury as well, is if as soon as you feel the pain, you stop. You don't work through it, because my temptation is always to work through it. And I think that's why
so what we can do is just find ways around the injury. But obviously, if you're feeling pain, we want to stop.
Okay.
But what we don't want to do is, say if I injure my ankle, I don't want to just do nothing. Because the body's just going to do it. So you want to sort of find what you can do.
Yeah.
So for example, with your hamstring, because that was something we kind of don't really want to do things. So typically, for most people, I'd say it's good to do squats and kind of lunges, things like that. But for you, that's just going to aggravate it and make it worse.
And I've been doing those, so all I've been doing is making it worse.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the road to my recovery. This is the road to the marathon.
So what we would do is wait until the pain is started to diminish, and then we'd start with static positions. So static positions would be something like having a back resting against the wall and doing a squat like that.
Okay.
Something like that. So again, it's like I say, we don't want to start with dynamic movements. We want to start with static positions. So what we want to do is just do a bit of work on the ankle itself.
Yes, lovely.
That's all right. So if you want to sit on that box.
Yeah. There we go. Don't fall over, don't do yourself an injury. Right, I'm sat on the box.
Okay, so the ankle has basically 4 movements it can do. So we have dorsiflexion, which is bringing it up.
Okay.
Yep. Then we've got plantar flexion, which is going down.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we have inversion.
Yeah.
Eversion.
Yeah.
And then we just have lateral movement here.
Okay.
So that's kind of like this movement.
Yeah.
So what we can do is just start to strengthen the ankle on those planes.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool.
So while we're sitting here, the first one we're going to do is dorsiflexion.
Yeah.
So you can think with dorsiflexion, you think dorsal fin, which comes up, and plantar flexion, we're planting in the ground, so the toes plant into the floor. So we're just going to start with dorsiflexion, so coming up. So what we're going to do is sit and just lift my ankles up.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to hold for 3 seconds, relax for 1.
So that doesn't feel as though it's doing anything at all.
It's more about kind of mind-muscle connection.
Okay.
So it's getting your body to recruit those fibres.
Yeah.
So hold for 3. What we want to do is you don't want it to be kind of a lazy movement. We want to be actively pressing as hard as we can. So it's
I was being lazy, I think, there, actually.
What we want is an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object.
Okay.
So as you pull.
Yeah. So
relax. Pull.
right. So actually, I was being lazy to start with.
I don't know if it's lazy, it's more the body will choose the path of least resistance, so then you have to then jump in and go, no.
My body certainly does that,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, cool.
Okay, great. And then the next one we're going to work on is that plantar flexion, so I'm just going to lift ankles up this way.
Yeah.
Yep. So we may need to sort of adjust your position in the seat. Okay, and again we want to be really squeezing at the top.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you should feel this all down the calf.
Yeah, I can actually get down there.
So what we want to basically do is kind of bulletproof the ankle from every possible side. Okay, so when we're here, we're working the front side, and then when we're here, we're working the back side.
And these are great because I can do these at home. Presumably I could just sit on the side of the bed and do something like this as well, or in a trail. And that's really, really helpful actually.
It's really useful, especially...
Even while you're watching TV. Sorry.
Yeah, well, sprained ankles are super common, so it's one of those things, even if you just do a bit of ankle conditioning, that puts you steps ahead of everyone else because no one else is doing ankle conditioning.
I like it, steps ahead. This is
ahead.
what we want.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Great.
Yeah, that's
so
great.
We're just going to work on that inversion and eversion, so I'm going to rest my weight on my heels.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to turn to this side, and I'm going to turn to the opposite side.
Yeah.
So this I want to move on the same plane of motion. Yeah, that was great.
And this is amazing because it's not hurting.
No.
So that's exactly what we're trying to achieve. Strengthen my ankle, keep it strong, but don't hurt it.
Yep.
Cool.
Exactly. So you can think of it almost like you're trying to build a layer of muscle all around here, so that even if later on, if it does roll, then it just reduces the risk of it spraining.
Brilliant. That's really good.
And then final one, we're just going to do that side to side motion. So I'm going to rock onto the left side and the right. Okay.
Don't get too close, Matt. I've not shaved my legs. I'm due for a waxing in, is it a couple of weeks' time when the beauty salon's? Oh, I can't wait. Anyway.
I need a waxing as well. Long overdue.
Oh, hair problems.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Does that feel alright?
Brilliant. That's really good. I definitely. I've never done that before. Yeah. I'm definitely going to do that every night. How many would you say?
So I'd say around 20 repetitions of each. So it's not very taxing. So I'd say about 20 repetitions.
Yeah.
And if you just do it like once a day, something like that, that'd be good. So we want kind of higher frequency. It's not like doing a very taxing exercise where you need a long recovery period. It's small muscles, so they should recover pretty fast.
Fantastic.
So 20 every day should be.
Fantastic. Now I know we've not got an awful lot more of your time, but is there something that we could do, I think about standing on one leg or something? Is there something that I could do to strengthen? Because I'm not brilliant on my left, but I'm dire on my right. And is that because of all this hamstring problem?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay.
So what I like to do with this, rather than giving people a standing leg exercise, because what I generally find is they get bored quite quick with that, is every time you put your shoes on and off, we want to do that standing up.
Okay.
So if we do a test now,
yeah.
Try. So this is going to really test me because I've not done it for a while. Okay, so what I'm going to do is...
Oh, I'm not going to be able to do this.
As I take my shoe off, that, and then when I put it back on, I want to stay standing on this leg.
Oh wow, that is a great idea to do. I just know I'm not going to be able to do it. So let me
use that for a bit of support.
Okay, so I think this is where the pain is. So, but I think it's going to be. Oh, Gordon Bennett. Oh.
Perfect.
Hold on. Oh, and then so I've taken it off.
We've got 2 touches so far.
Oh, that's me.
Too far.
Oh, God.
You can lose 10 points on this.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Nice.
Okay. I just don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Oh, hold on.
Careful, nice work.
Dear.
99%.
Oh, okay.
That's really good.
Okay. Oh. So I think it's going to be the other one that's going to be the problem, because it's this leg where the pain is.
Okay.
So I'm just going to try again. Well, then that's going to be easier because you can get this leg higher.
Yeah. They both seem alright to be fair. The hip flexion looks
yeah.
good.
So it's just here that the pain is.
Yeah.
So is there anything I can do to stop that pain? Because I'm going to practice that. That's a brilliant idea.
Yep.
One legged, you need to do it as well now.
Yeah, it's a good challenge, dude. It's kind of a
yes, the shoe time challenge or something. So what else can I do just for this here?
For the hamstring itself.
Yeah.
What we generally don't want to do is we don't want to work directly on the hamstring itself, because that's just going to cause issues. But what we can start to do is work on kind of the bits either side.
Oh, okay.
So when we were doing the toe flexion here, so that's going to be working the calf. And what we can also do is some direct work for the glute.
Right.
So if you think of that, we're kind of getting either side.
Yeah.
And we can start to strengthen, sort of move in more towards the hamstring itself.
Yeah.
So what we do, just a simple one for the glutes. So I'm going to lie on my side here, and I'm just going to open my legs like this. So you want to think of it like opening and closing a book.
Right. Oh.
Like so. So this is one for people at home, if you're sat at a desk for a long time, what can happen is the glutes start to switch off. That's where you get this sort of numbness down the back of the leg. So this is a great one to do if you've been sat for a long time, just to sort of reactivate the glutes.
Yeah, I'm not going to try that one now because I might not be able to get elegantly up again. But anyway, that's good. So, just thinking upper body as well, because I'm really conscious. I said to you, I'm a tennis player. That's why I'm not that bad core. But clearly, I can't play at the minute because it's quite dynamic. Which not being able to play in any case, but it's obviously quite dynamic. Anything to keep my upper body strong that I could do?
Generally with the upper body, you want to think of push, pull. Okay, so these are going to be the main actions of the upper body. So in terms of pull, we don't really have the equipment here, but for people at home, what you do is you'd have a door frame. So you'd be standing in a door frame, and I'd place my elbows on either side of the door frame, and just pull like this. So our body's
right, okay.
going to pull like so.
Yeah.
So what that's going to do is just going to work off the back.
Oh yeah, that would be nice there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So again, we want to think of getting both sides. So any kind of pulling movement is going to get the back side. On the anterior portion, what we want to do is some kind of push.
Yeah.
We'll try a press up. That's
Go on then.
Go farther. So again, I'll just put my mask on.
Oh, am I doing a press up?
Yeah, well, you did a press up.
I'll give it a go.
So first one we're going to do is just a kneeling press up.
Yeah.
So we come down, press up. I'm aiming to keep my torso in line with my thighs.
Okay, right. Okay. Getting down. And this is a really hard ground to do this on.
Yeah, this isn't the nicest.
So here?
Okay, so hands slightly back.
Yeah.
As you come back, you want to bring the elbows at around 45-degree angle.
Like that?
Slightly further back, so almost like you're trying to tuck the elbow in.
Oh, Gordon done it, like that.
Yeah, perfect.
Ugh.
That's great. Do one more. Perfect. Nice.
Cool.
You want to take a rest?
Yeah,
so,
that's cool.
So key points here for the people at home. It's going to be start when you do a press up, display your fingers.
Okay.
That's going to give you a wider surface area.
Yeah.
So it should help with the press. What we also want to do is we don't want to be flaring elbows like this.
Right.
Because that's just going to put pressure on the shoulder joint. Like that. So what we want to do is we're tucking back about 45-degree angle.
Okay.
As we come.
Am I going to do a full press up? No, I'm not going to do a full press up.
Do you want to try? It's up to you.
I want to do myself in. Matt, there's a challenge there. We can always stop recording on this. This might be the end of the video. But let's have a go. So if I was going to do a full press up.
So what I'd start with, rather than doing a full press up straight away, is I would do full press up on the way down and then use your knees on the wheel.
Okay. Right, let's try that. So here.
Yep, so lower down really nice.
Oh no, I can't go further than that.
Keep lowering down.
No, I couldn't do it. And then back up like that. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the kind of progression.
And you get better at that, presumably.
Yeah, so it's just a great way. So rather than trying to do hundreds of different exercises, it's just easier for people to think at home, like, okay, some form of push, some form of pull.
Yeah, I love that. And what do you need for that? Nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
I'm even on concrete here, so that just shows what to. Eddie, you've been amazing, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. And just remind us again, how would somebody get in touch with you if they want some sort of rehabilitation or some PT or whatever?
Great. So my website is called alphachimp.co.uk. You can find me on Instagram, alpha_chimp. Gym is Movement Personal Training, so check them out on their website, social media, Movement Personal Training. And yeah, it's been great. It's been a great session.
It's been lovely to meet you. Thank you. I'm going to go lie down now.